welcome back to the channel. Jacob speaking over here, and this is Prehistoric Kingdom. And before we start, I have to say that this game is in early access, so during the speed build, some bugs and glitches may appear. And also, I have to say that this is the first ever my YouTube video on the channel from such a game that gives you the unlimited freedom with lots of resources to build beautiful parks. And this time we are building for the Smilodons, the Saber-toothed Cat. So I really hope you are going to enjoy the speed build and the final result. So let's hop into it. And the speed build finally started, and always my builds in such games start with building a base for the building. This time it will be for the shelter because with it we are starting right now. And at this point I have to say what inspired me for that build, and that will be the lion habitat in Silesian Zoo in the city, which is named Chorzów in Poland. So if you are English speaker and you say that properly, I really appreciate that, I have to say. And yeah, I have to say that I was a little bit struggling because I wanted to do something new on my channel, something that won't be as long as Canada Lake Park tour actually. And I wanted to do something in Prehistoric Kingdom or Planet Zoo because I really needed that little break from Jurassic World Evolution 2. I needed some freedom, okay? Because I was really furious at that point with terrain constraints and other not very pleasing parts of Jurassic World Evolution 2, which is a little bit, let's say, how's the word? Oh my God, sometimes I'm so sorry because I sometimes really forgot the word I really would like to say. Jurassic World Evolution 2 is limiting, and that's what I wanted to say. And yeah, we're all building now the roof, going back to the speed build, and I use this little trick, this little weird trick, so I know the angle at which I have to put. I have the guideline at which angle I have to put all of those concrete roof actually, so everything is tied up and nice. I think that was, I still remember that was about 20 degrees. And also there is a tip in every game, Prehistoric Kingdom, Planet Zoo, or maybe Planet Coaster 2 in the future for you. So that if you are building such building, just like over here, or something else that have irregular shape, use angle snap on and then remember at which angle you have done something like that. So everything will be tied up, everything will be clean, and you don't have to guess and lose a lot of time actually by guessing at which angle it would be for it to be perfect, especially for me as I am perfectionist. So that was the struggle for me. Okay, now I'm really playing around with this glass window so a guest can look into the animal shelter, and I used those little pieces, and also I had a really big struggle with them because they are so small. They have small hitboxes, so they are very difficult to click actually and to move around because it's hard to select them. And I could use the beam that the game provides you, the simple steel beam, but I wanted to do something different, and here we go, we have something like that. The good thing about all of those games is that you can build something which is pleasing for you, which is looking good, and then select everything, copy it around, and everything will be nice and clean. You can make some little adjustments, so not everything is looking copy and paste actually. And just like I'm going to do that in a second, but now I'm placing those steel beams. So let's say that they are a little bit electrified, so cats, if they touch it once, they won't be touching it again for a longer time. And also the beams are steel, so the cat, if steel will broke the glass, it won't attack the guest, so everyone will be happy. Or cats, let's say, will be happy because being actually attached, just to touch the electrified fence, it's not very good. It's not pleasing. Okay, and now I'm building something so-called little enrichment. that you could see usually in the big cat enclosure in the zoos. It is very simple. I'm not very proud about that, but it have to be simple so our cats, while building in the shelter during the bad weather or other events that cause they should go into the shelter and be close, so they have something to do, so they have something to climb, they have something to sleep, and it's making the entire shelter look just a little bit more interesting. And still also and it did not have so much details because I was also running at time. I don't have it so much, and I really wanted to build this building to be, I want this building to be very detailed as much as I can, as much as I have time, so I don't have time for such enrichment. And now I'm adjusting the roof, so everything is not it's not so flat. It's not only this black concrete that makes the ceiling. And also, if you are playing all of those games, I really would say that you should always do that, especially with those roofs, because every time it makes the entire building look just a little bit better, and it's another step ahead for making the beautiful builds. And okay, I do some little adjustments. Now I will be building this, or maybe not. What I'm going to do right now, because I record this at the end, I can't remember. I can see that I'm adding those little details, those little beams. So this entire building, the entire steel metal building, has just a little bit of support, and so it won't collapse. And now I'm adding just a really nice touch to the roof. I was playing around with those, let's say, quarter circular elements from the menu at the bottom of the screen, and now I'm adjusting this concrete roof, making it, let's say, making the roof work properly, and then fighting with Z-fighting, because every time you do something like that and you move the piece on one layer, always there is a very ugly texture fighting on it, so you have to just lift it pixel up, pixel down, right, left, or something like it, in every direction, so it's not very attacking your eyes, let's say, because it's when you are going around through the air just like a god, you are building this entire project, or the architect, let's say, it's not looking nice every time. You should avoid that if you never played such games. There is one tip from me. And also I'm adding a little bit of gardening, so there will be a little bit of flowers, so it's not only metal and concrete, everything. Adding even more beams so the roof won't collapse on the animals, so everything is nice and clean, and for the guests, so they can see animals even in the rain and wait out the very bad weather. And now I'm making this little touch. This is the automatic doors, just like you have a garage, for example, because I don't know how to say that in English properly. You have a garage and you have those automatic doors that are going up and down. It is going to be in this shelter, and it is going to be on the animal entrances to the shelter. I'm also using this little bit construction metal beam, let's say, so these doors have actually something to go. If you have some doors, you know what I mean. And just like I said at the point with the windows, select everything and then put it everywhere, so everything gets nice, clean. Everything is detailed in actually no time. And yeah, I also adding some coolers and ventilation. I'm not the ventilation person. Actually, this is the first build that I was adding such decorations. I have to, let's say, have a little bit more research about that, because I'm not a professional. I don't know how it is going to look like, but still, I made these little vents at the top, because always on the building there is something like that, and it is looking just a little bit nice, and it makes actually the roof look not so empty. Oh, that was the word. The roof is not so empty, and it is looking interesting. Also over here I'm adding this little lettering, so actually you know the animal, the name of the animal you are looking in. If you for some reason never heard about this Smilodon, and yeah, there will be an interesting thing over here as I went for the Smilodon populator, the biggest actually specimen, I think, from South America. I think it was South America and that was the biggest one, but also I have to check, you also have to check that. And I just found, I think there was 4 of them, give them some meat, give them some water so they won't starve or dry to death. And everyone will be happy because I need them to know if I place the TV correctly. And now I'm building the fencing for them. And don't get me wrong, the fencing in every game, in Planet Zoo and in Prehistoric Kingdom, are very good made, are well made, they are so beautiful. And if you are playing challenge mode or other modes that require that are economically, let's economics. So you are playing not in sandbox, you're doing, or you're very, in Planet Zoo for example, you are doing very quick campaigns, so you get all of those reward statues. You should use them. But you're playing sandbox, you should always, I think, build those fences, those custom fences actually. So everything will be, actually it will be unique every time you build something new. And there will be 2 parts of this enclosure actually. Just next to the shelter there will be the smaller one, just like the one that I'm building right now. And so you can see the Smilodons from up close. If they come over there, there will be a little tree. And also there will be this bigger part, so Smilodons have a little bit of space to roam in and adore nature just a little bit more. There will be lots of rocks, lots of foliage, so they can hide from the guests, they can play with their enrichment items, and that will be the place to keep them nice, happy, and the most importantly, healthy. Because always when you are building the zoo, I think you should do this in a more ethical one. Maybe it's just my words, but still I really like making everything look ethical in all of those games because still we are pretending that we are working with real animals, so yeah, it is very interesting for me to try to build something that will be ethical, nice, and build something that would be built in real life. And now I'm just adjusting with those smaller beams everything, the fencing into the shelter. And now I'm using this invisible fence that makes possible for us to build our own fences, for example. And also, if you are playing with them, I think you should add them at the end. I made that mistake. My apologies. Because every time you build something, they are appearing on the screen. They are very bright blue, and you cannot see anything, especially when you are building with some small decorations, very small details. And yeah, actually, and I don't even know if there is an option in those little menu on the right bottom or in the pause menu, so you can turn that off so you actually see what you are doing, but still add this at the end, especially in sandbox, because you don't have to put it every time you need. Again, I'm doing this little trick, also changing the texture underneath, so actually I can see where to put that and where to adjust, so I can see everything again. And yes, a little bit of adjusting. And at this point, I have to say that I'm really big fan of this very actually very simple tool. The tool that is coming to Planet Coaster 2, that being the resize tool, being very nice for every single build you are going to do in every game like that, because you can adjust anything actually in the menu that is resizable. And yeah, actually, that's one of the best things in this game that approves. That it was the first time using something like that. I was really happy about that feature, and when I firstly used that, I was in heavens actually. I also like the Prehistoric Kingdom because it adds something like this very nice brushes with lots of customizations and this foliage brush, which is in Jurassic World Evolution 2, but it's not in Planet Zoo. And it is also coming in Planet Coaster 2 actually, because it's making building foliage around. You could see me do at one point actually in this video. It's making the placing foliage much quicker, but inside Habitat I think you still should use those foliage bars so you can place everything correctly and everything will be nice and clean. Also you can see those dirt patches on the ground where leaves are not growing. This is the sake of realism, because usually when you have Habitat of the cats, there is a certain path that is laid down by them, and also they are, because every time you have lion habitat, cheetah habitat, every time you could see this little path that animal is always taking that, so there is always dirt, plants are not growing there, and also I would like to mimic that over here. And now I am playing around with the rocks in this natural section of the habitat. So it is it's a little bit more natural, and there is one more barrier that makes it makes for Smilodons impossible to go near the gas in this section, but still they would be able to do so because they are cats. Obviously I think they would be able to climb on those rocks, but still they have this electrified fencing that is designed to keep them in, adding a little bit of rocks so everything will be nice. And also I have to say, actually it is only one of my opinion, but because I said a very good thing about this brush in Prehistoric Kingdom, but still I don't like much the water feature, because there are some certain depths that are really great. I really would like to see that in Jurassic World Evolution 3, that is coming hopefully next year, but I'm not sure. We are not sure actually, but it is sometimes really, actually it's not very easy to work with it. And you could see me that over here that I really would like to put this concrete flooring to this little pond, so for the sake of also realism, because every time there is a artificial pond in the enclosure, there is also concrete in the bottom, so it is much easier to clean it every time it is going to be dirty. But I wasn't able to do so. We have to pretend that there is something like that in there. And now I place so many rocks, and now I'm going to place even more foliage next to the rocks, in the rocks. I'm going to place some trees, so everything will be nice and clean, and our Smilodons are going to be happy. And speaking of being happy and Smilodons, Prehistoric Kingdom, staying with that, I think that I really have to say what is going on, because this is only the speed build. I had the idea, I wanted to do that game, I hopped in, built that, and you are watching the video. It's not the project in Prehistoric Kingdom yet, and I think there won't be in the future, sadly, for now, because I don't know, because it takes a lot of time, and I had actually not so much as I really wanted to. So you can also see only that for now, because I think that after some time I will find something more to start a new project. But also I would like to put some smaller builds on the channel, just like that, also in Planet Zoo and Prehistoric Kingdom, because that it's not Prehistoric, oh my god, what I mean talking about, Jurassic World Evolution 2, because that it's not so long to build, just like the Canada Lake Park took a lot of time to build actually. And also there was a lot of running actually, let's say that. Sometimes I had not so much time as much as I really wanted to. And those smaller builds can make everything a little bit easier for me to build actually, to record, and then make the entire video from it. But yeah, I really would like to say, because I ran from the topic very far, there is no project in Prehistoric Kingdom yet. There will be actually smaller builds right now, and I think soon we will start another project, but still I don't know at which game it will be. but I will get you covered if there will be something on the horizon. I will say that in one of the videos in the future. Also, this time I really wanted to do something a little bit new. So there will be cinematics at the end, just as always, but also I made a little bit of tour that it is going to be made every time I build something like that at a smaller project. So you could see it from the guest perspective and then normal cinematics that are here from the beginnings of the channel actually. So yeah, that was the information for now. Now, looking at the speed build, now I can see that I'm building this very big actually plant spot, the plant feature. So it's not just concrete path. There is this little nature point so you can sit in and relax just next to the main traffic, so you can avoid that a little bit more. I also have seen in this build that I really like those little bushes from the temperate biome. Also with the fact that in Prehistoric Kingdom we have this beautiful resize tool and you can make a lot of them, you can hide many things, and yeah, they make a lot of things so much easier. And you can, over here you can see this foliage brush, just like I said, it is making everything much quicker, much nicer. And now I'm building something that I'm least proud of in this video because I had not so much time to actually finish it. That will be this little staff area next to the shelter. So our keepers have this little point that they can actually came in with some stuff and grab a shovel or something, guys, so they can come into the habitat. Of course, at the time where all the cats will be closed in the shelter and everyone will be safe, actually. Everyone won't be eaten. And also I made this really speed build, very quick thing, because I did this little shelter actually for the park staff just to protect it from the rain. So the keepers have somewhere, they have the place to hide the most necessary things in the park, in the habitat, so they don't have to go around every time to the staff center and grab them, walk there, because there is a really, it's not very economical, it is a very big waste of time. And yeah, they have everything access over here. And I can see on the time stop that I'm running out of time, so I really hope you enjoyed the speed build, and I'm going to see you just for a moment in the tour. So for now, bye bye. And here we are on our very quick tour of the final result. And from over here I see we are very lucky because there is the whole bunch of Smilodons in its shelter just for us right now. So we are really lucky instead of normal zoo visit, if you know what I'm speaking. And yes, lovely, beautiful cats just next to the window. Lots of informational signs so our guests won't be interrupting the animals. Big branding next to the habitat, so you know what animal you are seeing. A little sign of Smilodon to measure, and this smaller side of habitat so you can see the saber-toothed cats from up close. And there is also the keeper access to this habitat on the other side, and from over here we can also see the crossing point for the Smilodons into the shelter and to the other side of the habitat. So now we are heading that way. Just for now, we're going to speed it up, and just next to the shelter there is the bigger part of the habitat, more natural one. So our Smilodons have this little pond on the lower layer of it, and there is also lots of pumpkins, lots of enrichment items, so they are not bored in their habitat, because we don't want to have our Smilodons be unhappy in our habitat. That would be unfortunate. And yeah, that will be all. I hope you enjoyed and stick around for the cinematics. I leave you with this sign and saying my byes. Bye bye.